Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Darryl Jackson of Patrice and Associates and also of Career IQ. We're working on some content for you in terms of helping you grow, also helping create a pipeline for career professionals in the hospitality industry. This particular video that we're doing, I'm going to be setting out to you today, this interview with Chef Gary Kinsey, who's a good friend of mine. He was first one of my candidates, and I helped him with his resume, and he became a good friend, and we kind of stayed in touch over time. And we decided on a recent conversation to see how we can partner together in terms of how to create a pipeline for culinary professionals. And today was our first meeting to really talk about some advice, his perspective on the industry, how to get ahead, and hopefully you guys get a chance to get some nuggets out of that to grow from, and hopefully you enjoy this interview. Please stay tuned for more afterwards, and but this is the first one, and I'm very excited to be able to talk with Chef today about his experience. I really enjoyed it. It was eye-opening. It was also gave me a chance to kind of go back in time and kind of feel those emotions in terms of as far as the industry goes. When I started probably a little bit over 3 decades ago. So thank you guys for tuning in now. And again, this is Chef Kinsey, the interview with Chef Kinsey, Gary Kinsey, and I'll have the descriptions or the information on how to get connected with him in the description. Okay. All right. Talk to you guys soon, and hope you enjoy. And if you do, like, subscribe, and share this information as well. All right. Hope to see you soon, and enjoy this interview. All right. Well, I just want to know how you got into the business. That's what we want to talk about first.
Yeah, culinary school was definitely like by chance. I will tell you that at 16 years old, I was in a school. So, after school during the summer, they put us in this program called the after school program. But it was like a workshop. Got to get your working papers, 16. In the school I was working in, we would just take the desk, we get all the gum from underneath, clean them. And it was a summer job. And the school, I got asbestos, and it moved us to a hospital, Robert Wood Johnson, New Brunswick, New Jersey, on Rutgers campus. Um, and I ended up in diet. Well, I ended up in another department, which was stocks. So that's when they call codes, they give it to people to run upstairs. I wasn't that guy because I had no sense of which directions I was going. So I moved to dietary. And when I moved to dietary, two things happened. I loved what was going on. My heart is different, so it fell in love with the people. Every person I had to come in contact with, to go get their tickets from them to bring back down to the kitchen. You know what I mean? And I just stayed there. But when I went to West Windsor Plainsboro, I got there too late. I got there in the 9th grade, so I didn't live there the entire time. When I got there, we had college career day that goes on. And the people I was around was interested in that. So before we do this is where we're going. College career, I'm going. I got to go to get 4 colleges. I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
My plan was to go to the Army. That was my mother's plan. That was my father's plan. So none of my sisters went to college, but so I went with them. I filled out easy stuff, things that I thought were easy, like culinary school. I didn't know anything about what I would be doing in culinary school. Rider University, because it was right up the road. I knew the name. I had never really been anywhere, so there was no reason for me to try to do something I've never done before. That's not going to happen. I'm not like them. But the culinary school, Johnson & Wales University, out of all culinary schools, one of the top in the nation, at that time picked me, and I couldn't figure it out. I had to have a conditional acceptance to go, meaning that my mom or dad or both needs to come to the school and explain to them what happened in 7th and 8th grade academically,
Right.
because things aren't adding up. I was IEP classified, you know. So going through culinary school, I was on probation for the first 3 trimesters. Do you know how hard that is to stay in school
Yeah.
just for, 24 months? I stayed for 4 years. I learned everything, and I loved Rhode Island. It's only 30 miles long, the whole state, and everything around and in it, they own it. Johnson and Wells, or they got their hand in it. Even everything in the airport, from the hotels, and that's where we do our practicums. I learned a lot from traveling. Once at 21, I moved to Silver Spring, Maryland, and I filled out an application, Washington Post, that I saw in the Washington Post back then in 1996 or so. The Pentagon, through
Mm-hmm.
Aramark is where I worked, though. Didn't work directly for Pentagon, but for Aramark. Sous
Right.
chef, very
Right.
young.
Oh,
But
that's
it was
beautiful.
very easy to do. The second largest kitchen in the world. It's very large. There's 113 chefs in that kitchen at one time.
Ooh, wait.
But everyone there, yeah,
That's serious. That's serious.
that's serious. Everyone there is, longevity with the company. They've been there for that long. One, Stocks and Sauces, never missed a day. Never. In the 40 years he was there. That's impressive.
So what is your current position now? What is your current position?
My current position right now is a lead chef.
Okay.
And I'm under executive chef. I'm under 4 other sous chefs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I want to be. I only got to focus on food right now, Doug. I don't have to focus on anything else in the administration side of this. Nothing. I just get to float and just do me. I don't have any menus, any specs. I just know that when I need 1 quart, I need 7 quarts, I need 8 gallons. I'm in production. I got you without missing a beat on waste.
Yeah. I want a lot of people to know that you have executive chef experience. And how did you work your way up to executive chef, to that level? Because, it takes, moving from sous chef on the way up. How did you move so fast up to, or not so fast, I should say? How did you move up to how would you recommend someone moving up the way you did? How would you do that?
Oh, covering every aspect. I was some professor, no, I'm sorry, a chef in culinary school, Chef Barber. He told me this, exactly what I'm going to tell you. He said to me, when you get out into the world, don't just work in restaurants. You'll get bored. He said, don't just work in hotels. You'll get bored. He said, but go there first and learn everything you need to know to go everywhere else. You got to treat this culinary game like a tree. There's a lot of branches. And if you stay stuck on one branch, eventually it gets old and it falls. No one retires from restaurants because restaurants fold before you can retire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I covered everywhere: nursing homes, assistant livings. Assistant living was one of my favorite, along with hotels, because I was able to do luxury food. And these are people who have lived their life. They've been around the world, and you got to impress them. They don't care about your meatloaf. They don't care about your hanger steak. They don't care about anything. This is you got to impress these people every day, and you cannot be replaced once you have impressed geriatrics or children.
Mm-hmm. I
So I've
got.
worked everywhere to do so.
Well, I try to tell people a lot of times, you have to diversify your career, and getting stuck into one area does pigeonhole you and makes you less marketable to move into other markets. So if someone stayed in hotels most of the time, it's hard for them to get into the restaurant. If they did most of the restaurants most of the time, it's hard for them to get into the hotel. If they work into one area, it's hard to get into the Aramarks and the other large companies like that, that allows them to be able to have more growth nationally as opposed to just more pigeonhole. So with that being said, as you've grown through through the industry, what are some of the things that you would recommend to young people coming up? What do they need in order to move up in those areas? What do they need? What tools do they need?
They need creativity first. And when you go into the workplace, never go in with a competition mindset. That's where everyone falls short. They go in with a competition mindset. And when you go in with a competition mindset, you don't learn anything. I go into work every day hoping I learn something from all the ones around me cooking. And that's how I've rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Can you show me that at 12 o'clock? When you ask someone to show you their gift, they are willing to do that. But if you're hating on them, it's competition and they're over in the corner trying what you do. And I'm no competition attitude. I would say learn as much as you can in the industry, because I left school after 4 years with the basics, but the basics in a lot of different categories, from Asian, American cuisine, American sophisticated cuisine, ice sculptures, garde meat fabrication. I left there with all of those skills. Bartending wasn't something that interests me, so I had to take it, had to
Mm-hmm.
pass it, but it's what I went there for. Bacon and pastry and culinary are two different fields. That's apple and oranges. People don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a master at it.
Yeah, that's very
So
true.
I advise people to go in with that attitude to learn. And while you're there, never get blindsided by the toughness around you with what people think they know, because they'll never know as much as you will know if you just focus on learning. You're so thrilled and happy about learning, you can't even hear them.
Yeah, yeah. So what's the largest teams you've led? What's the largest
The
teams you?
largest teams I've led was, I'm going to say, Kimmel Center. We covered 3 theaters along Broad Street, the whole art district that is on Broad Street South. Kimmel Center, Jose Garces, who's an Iron Chef. Um, that's all of his. It was before him, it was Wolfgang Pucks. And because we cover all these theaters at one time, and there could be a wedding or 3 weddings going on in the Kimmel Center, because that's the orchestra area. People want to get married there, they die there, whatever happens, this is true. And then you have backstage to whatever's going on at the Miller Theater, and things are like that. You're backstage, or you could be on JFK at Wow Wow Welcome America. I did Tori Kelly. That's why I was at a concert yesterday for a country band. I'm signing up for it. You like country music? That's the first question they ask. I do. I never really heard country music, but I do. I could tolerate it. I got to go to work to do this.
Mm-hmm.
My name was thrown out there to a country band. Hell yeah, I want to go. So I just say stay focused.
Yeah, I got you.
I love this. I cook all day. When I'm done with the backyard with trimming, I'll be in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So, with all of that, leading large groups and large events, what are your keys to success in
And I'm
leading
sorry,
those
when
people? And leading those people, how do you lead so many people? And especially when you got so many events, different events going on at the same time. What do you do? What are you?
I you have to develop a relationship with the whole team, right? You have to develop a relationship with the whole team. And the only way you can do that is with respect. You got to understand, and you have to have a conscious mind that things happen. Mistakes happen. I am the leader. And because I am the leader, I got to be prepared for anything that comes from me. 35 minutes in an office, or maybe even an hour to be in an office, that's where a chef should be. You should be in the office minimum that time instead of sitting down. And you should be in the kitchen. And while you're in the kitchen is minimum mistakes. When a captain of a captain of a ship is on deck, nothing happens. Everything is on course. The bowls don't have any waves. It's floating nicely. And that's where we want to see the captain in your office doing paperwork, doing all of that, so we can show you we can keep this on track. You can't do that without a team. You got to build a relationship. Be able to talk to people instead of throwing drill sergeant voices at them. Send them home. Make them want to wake up and come to work. I look forward to going to work tomorrow. I look forward to learning from my bosses. Of course, you work with your coworkers more than you see your family. Understand that.
That's true. That's facts. That's definitely facts.
So, two things are going to happen. Develop a respectful relationship with your coworkers so you can have the happy mindset at home.
Mm-hmm. That's real. That's real. I can remember working at a large hotel here. We had to set up for like 12,000 people. And the goal was you couldn't do that unless you had respect for your team. And you can't lead it all because you have to allow everybody else to be able to do their part. Everybody has their role. And so I totally get it. So you kind of helped me kind of bring back some of those memories as well. It's all about the if it wasn't for the respect, we wouldn't be able to pull off those large events without any mistakes. But you even then you have mistakes. You kind of move past those mistakes and keep rolling. But that make it even more fun, though, you know. So those are things I enjoy. So
A company has budgets for mistakes. You
yeah,
understand? And it has to happen because humans, we are working with humans, and that's it. But if and the other thing is this, the biggest and most important thing that I can say about this, Doug, is you can work for a great company, but under bad management. And bad management gets rid of or loses a great employee due to I don't want to be that management
yeah.
that you know
Oh,
that points on me.
that's a great point. You know, working in an environment where they don't understand the importance of those employees. So I'm glad you bring that up. So when you have situations like that, I mean, you have to create an environment for where they feel comfortable and growing and stuff. So how do you cultivate that? How do you cultivate talent? How do you keep them inspired? What do you do for
Make sure they know it every day. Everything that they do, pat them on the back for it because you got to be thankful that that person showed up for work and able to get that done because it could be I'm taking two other people who've never done this to bring them over here to get it done because she's doing it all and wants them by him or herself. You've got to pat people on their back. You've got to let them know that you recognize it and you acknowledge, even if you give out whatever gift cards, whatever you give out, I'm glad you came to work. You don't got to wait 10 years for someone to recognize you. Don't treat workers like the help. Treat them like they are a part of the business, the company,
like family, huh?
like family.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, with that being said, as well, I've worked in places where it was tough to build, relationships because someone might have maybe an employee just got a bad attitude. How do you deal with people who are not on board quite yet, or do you work to either what do you do? What do you do with that with one or two employees who just don't get it? What do you do?
It's hard. It's a hard question. Throughout my career, like I've seen a lot in kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. Different personalities blend differently and especially when there's a hostile environment already. And then you got a packed restaurant where you got to do it silently or whatever's going to happen. And, freezers, walk-ins, I've seen it. I don't even know how to um, tell someone to block their emotions. I'm no counselor. No one at work is a counselor. Two people, I work with 22 people just in one building when there's 25 right across in the other tower. So it's 40 of us. Every day I see these same people, but I don't see them all at the same time because it's so big. The main kitchens where I'm going to see everyone. I'm there at 6 o'clock. I just try to be that funny guy. Like that's what I try to be all day. I think that I get along with everyone, and it's been times where the guy I see the most now You know, we got into it several times, but we seem like we're the closest now because I got to work. I got to communicate with you. And we've come close. We've hung out after work, you know, and it's just about personality. When you get to know someone, I'm already judging them like you're a loudmouth, you this, but you're not. You do get off hand, but everyone here knew that except for me. Now I know that other than that, you a kind, gentle man. He was all at the point where, well, meet me outside. I was like, at 3:30 though. You know, at 8 o'clock, 3:30. One of us gonna come back bruised up, but I'm coming back. But you gotta, it's hard in this industry because of whatever's going on at home. Leave it at home. Don't bring it into the workplace. Whatever going on at work, leave it in the locker room and go home to your family and put it out your mind. It's hard to do. A lot of people go drink. A lot of this industry, drink, drugs, whatever, it's a lot going on. You got to have that mindset that this is what's going to carry you on and on and on. This is a wonderful career because no robot is figuring it out. They're getting it in Japan on how to put it on the plate, but they're not getting the creativity side of it. So we got some ways to go, and we're now able to do it a lot of in different places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the more you learn, the better you'll be out here on the side. If you got weekends off or weekends available to make more cash flow, your wife will be happy. You catch up on your bills. And if you got a person, you know, a company like you know, Patricia and Associates helping you find a place like that, and you're doing your resume when you fixed it for me, that really did the trick. It felt like I was a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. I'm going to give this advice. Make sure you match everything you say you can do after Doug does your resume. Because they're going to test it. They're going to check it. The test I had to do at Comcast NBC was, I've never heard of a practicum like this. What type of science is this? Mm-hmm. But yeah, they test me. Now they love me. And you better be able to do not lie. On your resume.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think you raise a valid point. I think a lot of times people think that when we're working on resumes for them and we know the industry, we know, and a lot of people can't articulate their experience as well. And that's where we come in, that's where we come in to kind of help you articulate your experience, because you don't sit at your desk working on a resume. You're in the field working on your craft. And I totally agree. If you say you're going to do something, if you say that you have this experience, you better be able to show it, especially when it comes to the exposure and the clientele who are looking to talk to you about certain things. You need to be able to know food costs if you know food costs. If you say you know how to price out a menu, you need to know how to price out a menu. If you know how to manage a staff, then you need to know how to manage the staff. I think those things are all cool. And I think you're absolutely right. You bring it up that you better be able to do what you say was on that resume.
Right. And even that will get you by until all the pressure starts. And it only takes a couple of days to say, you know what, I don't think it's going to work out. That's you know what I mean? They have that right. So no need to start something and have to start. That will discourage a person from starting again and, you know, not looking. Because they feel like in 3 days they gave it their best, and that's not what they're looking for. So if you tell the truth, people know you want people to know what your weaknesses are before you want them to know what your strengths are, and that's a problem. People throw out their strengths there, and when they're asked what their weaknesses are, oh, I don't have. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely right. Well, I appreciate you, man, doing this interview. Me and you are going to be working together a lot in terms of creating a pipeline. I've been telling people about us creating a pipeline for professional, for the culinary world, for its jobs across the U.S., locally, regionally, worldwide. I want everybody to know who you are as well. Have a great deal of respect for Chef K. He's a good guy, man. And all I can tell you, if you want to learn anything about the industry, who's going to give it to you up front and be very genuine, you want to make sure you holler at Chef K. And if I want everybody to know, Chef K, I want you to at least tell these young kids who are coming up, because when I came in the industry, no, I didn't know it was that the hospitality was industry when I was in high school. A lot of people are now learning about these industries as they grow up now. Is now you got degrees and stuff like that. For these young kids that are coming up, and also those that are already in the industry, um, what advice would you give them before we sign off for today?
Learn the analogy. You have a lot of people who will skip school or any opportunity that they have to go learn culinary, thinking that they're going to learn everything in culinary, and you're not. You can go to you can go to classes, cheap classes, get funded for it, whatever it is. You want to start there. If you want to be a chef, dude, don't be the school of hard knocks. If you learn everything, the job is easy, and then it becomes fun. So you want to learn all of those things. I always ask a new candidate, give me 5 of the mother sauces, you understand? And never can they give them to me. Just think of acronyms to remember things in culinary school. It's all in French, and you'll learn to speak French too. You'll get another bonus off that, something that the school of hard knocks just can't do. But focus, focus, focus. Take classes. Watch Chopped. Listen to the words. Watch YouTube, and however you get your education for it, learn everything. The rest will be taught to you in the industry very slowly if you go in with a mindset to be eager to learn and not eager to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Show someone you're eager to learn. You're raw. People love raw talent. They can say they made and molded you, and when you go off in the world, you're never going to forget them. They want to be that person. I always wanted to be that person. So yeah, go in there with the eager to learn, and people will definitely teach you because they can see your raw fish. Raw fish ain't a bad thing.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. And again, we're gonna be working together. How can someone reach you if they wanted to reach out to Chef K? Any social media you want to plug or anything like that you would like to plug?
Um, you know, most of my food is so I'm trying to figure out which
But
page to send it because
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
yeah,
YouTube.
I would rather TikTok, Chef G Kin, GKIN,
Okay.
TikTok, Food Magic.
All right, and
So
I'll add that to the description as far as the link in the description at some point. I mean, I wanted to
and there
thank
they'll find out other pages, and
that.
it's not. I'm just me on these pages. My character is all there. Everyone knows who I am, but I am good in every aspect. No sex, no religion, and no religion. I mean, sex, religion, or none of that.
Yeah,
So I don't deal with any of that. So I'm a, like I said, my heart is always pure. So everything that comes out is pure.
yeah.
But TikTok is a great place.
Okay, well, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother. And one of the things I want to tell everybody is, look, if you're trying to get ahead, you want to make sure you stay humble. Humility with dignity and humbleness with pride will allow you to grow in so many different ways. You just want to make sure that your ego don't get the best of you. And if you're always willing to learn and always willing to grow and help others, important to others, the world is yours. The world is yours. So I just wanted to make sure I share that, man. And thanks, man. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. And I'm looking forward to our next meeting. And we're talking about our culinary our portal to help anybody who's looking. If you want to learn more, reach out to Chef K or myself, and we're gonna be helping you guys get placed in places and learn about new opportunities nationwide, worldwide, locally, or whatever. So I appreciate you.
And yeah, and don't be cocky about it. If you don't have the skill, come and learn. No one's gonna fault you, judge, none of that. Just
Yep.
learn, and then sneak out the back door like you never got it. You know what I mean? From us, just go.
Mm-hmm. And
But
be willing to check. If you need advice, Chef K is definitely a good resource for you. I'm telling you right now, he is a great resource for you. So you guys stay tuned for more, and we'll be bringing some more information to you guys in the very near future. I'm Darryl Jackson, and
Chef Gary Kinsey.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, before you go, I need your help in growing this channel. If you enjoyed the video today and what you heard the contents of, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And also comment on some of the topics you'd like to hear in the future. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great one. Bye-bye.